Hey y'all, it's Deanne here. I am coming today because I have been promising a chair yoga video for quite some time actually. And so this is what we're going to do today is a little chair yoga. Now when I normally offer this in a studio class, I break it down into 3 sections. We do a portion seated in the chair, and then we stand up and use the chair as support as we do some more balancing standing work. And then we go to the floor and do some stretches. However, today for this video, we're just gonna do the seated portion. We're just gonna do the chair work, just because I really want us to focus on that. Now, remember that this never replaces going into a studio and taking a class with a teacher. When you're in a studio and the teacher's there, the teacher can offer you, more suggestions, more options than what I can offer you based on what your body's capable of doing today. Also, there's just an atmosphere of energy that you share in a studio with the teacher and other people there taking the class, and so that's important. So this video is solely for those times that you can't make it to the studio. You're out of town, you just don't feel well, maybe you're snowed in depending on what time of year it is. So use this, but don't forget it's also important to go to a studio and practice with a teacher. And then, as always, anytime, whether you're taking this video or you're taking a studio class, you guys have to listen to your body. Know when to come out of a pose. Know that it's okay to take breaks. You don't have to do everything exactly the way I do it. You don't have to do everything the way we tell you to. It's okay to say, no, not right now. Listen to your body. Honor what it's telling you to do. You're taking a risk just coming into the class and practicing. But I want you to know that there's no risk involved with it when you know when to back out of it. So listen to your body. It's okay to come out of a pose, especially when you're doing a video and you don't have a teacher there to ask questions to. So with all that being said, we'll get started. I am sitting in a chair. This is my kitchen chair. So we're actually filming this at my kitchen table, actually. And so the idea is you want a chair where your knees and your hips are going to be at an equal level. So definitely don't sit on a couch where your hips are going to sink below knee level. Don't sit on a bar stool and do this. You really want feet flat on the floor, and you want knees and hips at an equal height. And so that might be a computer chair that you can adjust, but make sure if it's on wheels, you lock the wheels because you don't want anyone rolling away. I do have my yoga mat on the floor. That's just so my feet don't slide anywhere. It adds extra cushion. But then also if we were to go and do the standing portion and floor portion, the mat's already there. Additionally, I do have some more props. I have a block. Now I own yoga props. You might not have yoga props in your house. Don't feel like you need to run out and buy props. So if you don't have a block, you can use a box. You can use a big old book. Whatever you have that's square that might be a little bit sturdier, that's an option for you. And then I have a yoga strap here as well. Again, don't feel like you need to run out and buy a strap if you don't own one. You can use a belt, you can use a towel, you can use the belt of a bathrobe. Lots of options for you to choose. Just something that's going to help you hold on to your foot is what we're going to use it for. So have those props next to your chair, have them ready for you, and then sit up nice and tall. We're sitting forward from the chair, not touching the back of the seat. So because when you're sitting all the way back, there's a little bit of a lean back and a slouch, and I don't want that. I want you working up a little bit harder, sitting up a little bit taller. Feet flat on the floor, hands on your thighs. Just close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Breathing in and out through your nose. And then start rolling your shoulders backwards. I like rolling the shoulders backwards. We spend so much time with our shoulders rounded forward when we're sitting down, when we're slouched over, when we're slumped over a cell phone. So I like to roll them back to open up the shoulders from being rounded forward. There's nothing wrong with rounding your shoulders forward. I just like to do a little opposite action of what our body's normally doing. And then relax the shoulders down. Hands on your thighs. Circle through your torso. So your torso's doing big circles going forward. And then because you're sitting forward in your chair, you have room to lean back towards the back of the chair as well. Really starting to stretch through the torso muscles, your abdominal muscles and your back muscles, but move your spine as well. It's okay for your hips to be moving around on your chair. And then change the direction of the circle. Now, if you're leaning back, you do have to engage those abdominal muscles. You have to pull the belly in and up to prevent you from falling out of the chair. And that's what we want. One more circle all the way around. And then sit up nice and tall. Bring your arms by your sides, elbows are bent, palms face each other. So this will actually work your shoulders really good, but I just want us to get the shoulders moving. So taking in a breath, lift the arms out to the sides so their elbows are in line with your shoulders. And then exhale, bring them in. Inhale, lift them out. Exhale, bring them in. Inhale, lift out. Stay right here. Now raise your hands up like you're all excited. And then hands come down, arms come in. Arms go out. Hands go up because you're excited. And then hands come down. Elbows come in. Elbows go out. Hands go up. Reach the arms up. And then pull it back. And then bring them down. And bring them in. Take them out. Hands go up. Reach up. Pull back. Hands come down. Arms come in. One more time. Arms out. Hands up. Reach up. Pull back. Hands down. Arms in. Relax the shoulders. Hands either holding the thighs or the seat of the chair, or if you have really good shoulder flexibility and you want to reach back to grab the back of the chair, you can reach back there. One variation is not better than the other, but I do prefer holding onto the seat of my chair. Taking in a breath, you're going to lift up the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together on the back, and then you're not craning your head to look up. You're simply lengthening the front of the neck, lifting through the chin. And as you exhale, chin comes to your chest, round your shoulders back, put a little slouch. Inhale, lift up the chest. Squeeze shoulder blades together, lengthen through the neck. Exhale, round forward. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round forward. Inhale, lift up. This time as you exhale, bring your hands back to center. Heel to walk your feet and knees out wide. So we're working through the ankles. I do have to adjust myself on my chair a little bit. That's okay if you do as well. On an inhale, you're going to reach your right arm up. You're going to stretch over to the left side. So it's okay to rest left forearm on your left thigh while you're stretching to the side. Keep your right hip planted down in the seat and lift up through the right heel as well. And then another breath as you come up and all the way back down. Left arm goes up. Stretch over to the side. Keep your left hip planted in the seat. Lift up through the left heel and then turning through the head. Now you're not craning to look at your hand because that might put a little crimp in your neck. Simply turn your head, look towards the ceiling. And taking a breath, sitting all the way back up. Other side again. Right arm up and over, right heel lifts up, right hip is planted down in the seat. Simple turn of the head towards the ceiling. And sitting all the way back up, heel comes down. Left arm up and over again. Turning through the head, lifting through the heel. Keep your left hip planted down on the seat. Don't let it lift up. And then sit all the way back up. Arm comes down. Good. Resting your right forearm on your right thigh. Left arm hangs down. Just do circles with the arm. Left arm's hanging down, circles with the arm. Motions from the shoulder, not the wrist or elbow. Just small little circles. And changing the direction of the circles. And hold your arm still. Look at your left hand. Taking a breath, sweep the arm out and up. Open your arm as far as it'll go, turning your head to follow. Now it's okay if your head doesn't follow the hand all the way, but turn your head as far as it'll go, open the arm as far as it'll go, and then exhale, bring it down. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale, sweep out and up. exhale the arm down. Coming over to the other side. So your left forearm rests on your left thigh. Your right arm hangs between the knees. Circle with the right arm. Slow, small circles, motions from the shoulder. So many people just want to move through the wrist. We really want to work through the shoulder. Feel as though your hand is very heavy and your arm is being pulled down. And then change the direction of the circle. And then your arm becomes still, looking at your right hand, taking a breath. Sweep the arm out and up. Exhale the arm down between the knees again. Inhale, sweep the arm out and up, turning your head to follow as much as possible. Exhale the arm down between the knees. One more time. Inhale, sweep open. This side I don't seem to open up as far as I did on the other side, and that's okay if the same is for you. Arm comes all the way down. And then as you inhale again, come all the way back up. So you're sitting up nice and tall, still with your legs out wide. I'm going to grab my block, which it's already in the right spot. I have it standing up on its tallest side. So if you're using a box, you want the tallest side. Same thing with a book, stand it up. You really want a taller height. So we're going to stretch and strengthen through the side bodies. Coming up, I usually call these cactus arms. Recently I moved to Pennsylvania and they like to call these goalpost arms for football. And that's okay. So cactus arms, goalpost arms, whatever you want to call them. Belly's pulled in and up as you rock side to side. So we are stretching through the torso here. We're moving it dynamically before we do a static hold in just a moment. And then the next time you're over to the right, take your right hand to the block or whatever prop you have. Left hand reaches up for the ceiling. Keep your left hip down in the seat. Now I'm going to say that every time because I'm guilty of lifting up my left hip. Don't do like I do. Really push the hip down. Stretch through the left side of the body. And taking a breath, come all the way back up. And again, we rock side to side. So we're going to do that again, but we're going to add in more of a strength component. So the next time you're over to the right, this time your arm extends, but hand goes in front of the block. Left hand reaches for the ceiling, left hip's planted down. You have to really pull the belly in and up to prevent you from falling out of the chair. So rule number 1 of chair yoga, don't fall out of your chair. Taking in a breath, come all the way back up. Relax the arms down, roll your shoulders back a few times. Relax the shoulders. Grab your block, bring it over to the left side of your chair. So it's standing up on the tallest side. Now you can go lower, but you have to make sure the hip doesn't lift out of the seat. So taking up your goalpost arms, rock side to side. Doesn't matter which direction you start rocking, whatever's comfortable for you. Just moving through the side body, which we don't often do, especially if you have a very sedentary lifestyle. And next time you're over to the left side, left hand to the block, right hand to the ceiling. Really push your right hip down. I don't know if you guys could see it, but my right hip lifted up really far. So don't do that. You're going to get a much bigger stretch through the side body if you keep your hip planted down. And then taking a breath, come all the way back up. And again, rock. Side to side. Again, moving into the strength component here. And then next time you're over to the left side, you're going to extend the arm, put it in front of the block. Make sure you're not resting the arm on the leg because that's really easy. And we're not going for easy, we are going for a little bit more difficult. And so maybe you don't lean as far forward or over to the side. Really focus on strengthening the obliques, pulling the belly in and up here. Inhale all the way back up and relax the arms down. Roll your shoulders back a few times. Oh, relax the shoulders. Heel toe walk, feet and knees back in together. Moving through our ankles here. And then once you get here, grab your strap or your belt, whatever you have on hand, and place it underneath your right foot. Right leg's gonna lift up, so it's parallel with the floor. Now, we're gonna do most of the weight and the work through the arms and the strap because I want us to focus on moving through the hip joint. So circling your leg here, as big of circles as you find comfortable. If there's ever a clicking noise, you don't have to go as big. You can go smaller. Again, most of the work's through the hands. My leg's not doing a lot of work here. And then change the direction of the circle with the leg. And then hold your legs straight out. I have both hands on the strap. I'm pushing through my heel as I pull on the strap. I'm getting a stretch through my calf. Now my leg is up, so it's a little bit parallel with the floor. It is okay if your leg's a little bit lower. You're still gonna get the calf stretch. On an exhale, pull your knee towards your chest. Towards the chest or over to the side, it's okay. As you inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, extend the leg. Keep your leg long. Set your heel down on the floor. Heel is down, toes are up. So this is where we're gonna go into that big hamstring stretch. Taking in a breath. Exhale, you're gonna hinge forward. Walk your hands down the strap. Now you might only get your hands to the strap, or you might be able to grab your foot. It's okay. Wherever you can go, so you can feel a stretch through the hamstring without resting on the left leg. Because this is really easy, and it takes the stretch out of the hamstrings. I don't want to take the stretch out. I want you to stay over here. Stay with this stretch. This is usually where I would tell a story about my kids, you know, and something they did that might have been really funny if we were in a live class. I'm not going to do that with you today. I'm going to spare you of those bad stories. And then on an inhale, come all the way back up. Relax the right leg, taking the strap off. Strap comes underneath your left foot. Left leg lifts up. Again, most of the work is through the arms. You're gonna circle the leg. So you can do this with one hand on each strap. You can circle it up or sync it up and do one hand holding both sides of the strap. And change the direction of the circle. Moving in through the joint, pushing around some synovial fluid. And leg comes straight out in front of you, as parallel with the floor as you can get it. Push through the heel as you pull on the straps. You're going to feel a stretch through the calf muscles. How often are you stretching your calf muscles? On an exhale, pull the knee in towards the chest. Inhale the leg long. Exhale, knee into the chest. Inhale long. Exhale, knee into the chest. Inhale long and set your heel down on the floor. Heel down, toes up. Taking in a breath. And exhale as you hinge forward. Walk your hands down the strap. You can hold the strap or your foot, but don't rest on your right leg. In a normal studio class, I would hold this for a minute. I'm not going to make us hold it for a minute. So if you want to hold it longer, you can hold it longer. If you want to hold a little bit shorter, you can hold a little bit shorter. Whatever your hamstrings can tolerate. We don't want to overstretch our hamstrings. We want to strengthen them actually, which we would normally do in the standing portion of our chair yoga class. Taking in a breath, come all the way back up. Relax your foot. Set your leg off to the side. So we're going to go into my favorite hip stretch, my favorite hip opener, done in a chair. And there's lots of options and lots of variations. So you have to find what's right for you. So I'm going to say bring your right ankle up to your left thigh. So that's traditionally right here, keeping the right foot flexed. Biggest alignment cue with your left leg is that your left heel is either directly underneath your left knee or it is extended out to decrease some intensity on the stretch of the hip. What I don't want to see is I don't want to see your foot coming underneath the thigh. That's going to put undue stress on your knee, and we don't want to do that. So you decide either one of those, but maybe this is too big of a stretch for your leg right now. No worries, we have more options. You can place a block there, and you can set your foot on the side of the block, so then your knee is still opening. But even then, there's still the option, you can just cross the ankles. Knee still falls open. You're still going to get a hip stretch. You have to decide the variation that's going to work for your body. Now I generally do stay up here. Taking in a breath, you're going to exhale and hinge forward. You really want to feel as though you're sticking your backside up and behind you. I want you to feel a stretch within your right hip. Now, if your arms are getting in your way, you can always take right arm between the legs, left arm on the outside, hinging forward and grabbing your left shin. I'm not a big stickler about whether you round your back here, because having a straight back versus a rounded back has a lot to do with the tilt of your pelvis. And so if you are sticking your backside up and behind you, you could probably go straighter back. Not everyone has it. Most people have this little posterior tilt of their pelvis when they're sitting down. They're usually slouching back. And then if you try to do straight back, you would put undue stress on your SI joint. And so I'm not going to yell at you either way, but I want you to focus on lifting up the backside and pushing it behind you. It's going to give you a bigger stretch in your hip. Personally, I could stay here all day. Taking in a breath. Come all the way back up. Bring your leg down from whatever position it was in. Excuse me. And then bringing left ankle up onto the right thigh. Now again, all of the other variations apply. You can use the block. You can just cross the ankles, but you're letting your left knee fall open. Left knee fall open is going to give us the hip stretch. It's going to start with the external rotation of your hip to begin with that stretch. Keeping your left foot flexed, taking in the breath, and exhale as you hinge forward. Don't forget to lift the backside up and behind you. That's going to help you keep a straighter back, but I'm okay if you round. I'm not going to fight you so long as you feel stretch within your hip. Now I know lots of yoga teachers are going to comment on this and say, how can you say that? And I'm going to tell them it all depends on the tilt of your pelvis. And this again goes back to why it's important to take class in a studio, because a teacher can tell you your pelvis is tilted incorrectly or you need to try and do this. So always remember, studio classes are best. Make sure you're not putting undue stress and tension into your leg muscles. So I have a tendency, I tighten all my thigh muscles to decrease the intensity of the stretch. Don't do that. Let yourself feel the stretch. Enjoy the stretch. Benefit from the stretch. Taking in a breath, come all the way back up, and then bring your leg back down. So we're going to do my favorite yoga pose, which is boat pose, Navasana. We're going to do it in the chair, so sometimes it's a little bit more difficult. I like to do this with a block between the thighs. If you are using a box or a book, don't put those between your thighs. It's probably going to be too heavy for you. Grab a pillow. Put a pillow between your knees, because the pillow is going to give you the squeeze that is required with the thighs, which then internally rotates the thighs, but also it's going to be less weight than the book or the box, and it's just those objects might be too heavy for you. If you have a yoga block, put the yoga block there. Now, lots of options here. What I don't want is I don't want you to slouch back. I want you to stay upright. That it requires abdominal engagement, belly pulled in and up, chest is lifted. So your options are to lift only your heels. Your options are you can hold the seat of the chair. You can touch the back of the chair with your shoulders as long as your chest stays lifted. But I want you to feel abdominal engagement. And then if you can lift your feet off the floor, lift your feet all the way off the floor. Now I have hold of the seat of the chair. You can do that as well. You can always bring the arms out to the sides. Now if you notice the moment I did that, I almost lost it. I had to re-engage my abdominal muscles. I wasn't pulling them in tight enough. So you have to know where you are. If you're starting to slouch back, then put your feet on the floor. I don't want you slouching back. I want you very much upright. And then we're going to bring our feet back down. Sit up nice and tall. Really do an arch through the back, because we're going to do it again. We don't ever do it just once. That would be too easy. So taking in a breath, lift it back up. Find your variation. Everyone's going to look a little bit different. We're all going to feel the same thing though. You should feel some abdominals working. I have one young lady in class. We do this in a chair and her whole body starts to shake. And she just shakes. And so then we put her feet down on the floor with just her toes, and she can shake still, but she's really building some muscle strength there. So it's okay to put toes down. And then bring it back down. Hands on the thighs as you arch up. One more time, because we all know my favorite number's 3. Taking in a breath, lift back up. All right, bring it back down. Hands on the thighs, lengthening up. And remove the block, excuse me, from between your thighs. Sitting up nice and tall. Bring your right hand by your shoulder, palm faces up. Left hand by your side, palm faces the floor. Taking a breath, really try to touch floor and ceiling at the same time. So your right shoulder is going to lift up. Your left shoulder is going to push down. And exhale. Hands in front of the shoulders, palms face out. Inhale, left palm up, right palm down. Really try to touch floor and ceiling at the same time. No one's ever done it, but you're going to strive for it, right? Exhale, hands in front of the shoulders, palms face out. Inhale, right hand up, left palm down. Exhale, hands in front of the shoulders, palms face out. Inhale, left palm up, right palm down. Exhale, hands in front of the shoulders, palms face out. Inhale, right palm up, left palm down. Exhale, hands in front of the shoulders, palms face out. Inhale, left palm up, right palm down. Exhale, hands in front of the shoulders. And then relax the hands. Sitting up nice and tall, turn your head, look over your right shoulder. As far as your head will turn comfortably. Notice I didn't move through the shoulder, just through the head. Turn your head to look back forward. And turn your head to look over the left shoulder. Don't move through the shoulders. So many of us want to move through the shoulders so we can turn and look further. We actually call that cheating. I don't believe in cheating in yoga, except when we do that. Turn your head, look forward. Turn your head, look over your right shoulder again. Neck mobility is very important. Turn your head, look forward. And then look over your left shoulder. Very important for when you're driving a car and you need to change lanes. You have to be able to see that blind spot. Turn your head, look forward. Look over the right shoulder again. Turn your head to look forward. Look over the left shoulder again. Turn your head to look forward. And then sit all the way back in your chair. Feet still down. Lean into the back of it. So we usually end yoga classes with a little shavasana. So I want you to experience a little shavasana for yourself here. So sitting comfortably in your chair, just close your eyes and breathe for a few minutes. Focusing on big, deep breaths. And then when you're ready, you can just open up your eyes and move on with the rest of your day. If you have any questions about today's practice, don't hesitate to email me. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. You can comment on the video and I'll respond to those as well. I hope you enjoyed today's practice. With all the gratitude for joining me in practice today. Namaste.